y'all. Hey friends, hey girlfriends. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Yes, I see Instagram is letting the people know that we are here and in the building. Yes, yes, yes. Come on in. That's how you remember they used to do that on, what was that? I don't remember what that platform was when he used to be like, come on in, come on in, come on in. I don't remember, but welcome everybody. Hey sis. I am so excited for tonight. I'm excited for every night. I know I sound like a broken record, but my vulva in me is really a passion project. It has gotten me through the pandemic. We started off, for those of you who are new to this or you're here because Sabri brought you. Hey, yes, Lady Stratford. Hi, friend. My vulva in me started off as 10 do's and don'ts. Hey, girlfriend, PP stood up. As 10 graphics, like it was 10 do's and don't tips, like, change your clothes after showering, don't use anything scented, don't douche, like little stuff like that, right? That's where it started. And it has now blossomed into 6 seasons of a web series, 3 books, a fourth to eventually come. Hey, goody. And I just, every time I try to put this down, God is like, and so wherever we gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. Y'all like it, I love it, y'all rocking, I'm rolling. That's what it is, and today is gonna be no different. This season, if you're just joining us, is called Dear Black Woman. Absolutely, it's an empire. My Vulva Me is a international brand. Like, who would have thought? But anyway, if this season is called Dear Black Woman, my heart, you all know, is committed to improving the lives and increasing the pleasure of Black women. And what better way to do that than by talking to the Black men that they love? And if we, as Black women who love Black men, better understand Black men, then that should only seek to serve us in the more. You see me? I'm feeling like orange is my color. And so far we have chatted with Chris Bofield, Kofi of Express Yourself Black Man. Last week we had Larry from Daps with Dads, and this last Thursday we had none other than the Dr. Vince, who is an intimacy firm favorite, and we talked about the romantic fears that Black men have. We talked about, is it possible for Black men to provide and protect in a way that is not toxic. He unpacked his concept of transformative masculinity, and all of it was good to me. And tonight we are talking love and legacy. We're talking about wealth building, generating ways in which we live out our dreams while seeking a partner, but also tuning into what God would have us to say. And our partner in growth today, our guest today is Sabri Thompson, also known as 302 Breeze on, I hope I got that right, on Instagram. And he is a realtor, he is a fitness guru, entrepreneur, all the things, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself. So go ahead, Sabri, go ahead and send me an invite, and so that I can let you join in. Y'all know we're going to play a game. This will be his first time on the Intimacy Firm and My Vulva and Me. So y'all know we're going to have to break him in something right? There we go. I added him. Hold on. He should be. There you go. Oh. Why you trying to be like, hold up, why you trying to be like me with the background though? Like, you got your greenery, your little like, don't even try to be. And you know what, let me say something. My spirit said don't wear a turtleneck because Sabri's gonna wear a turtleneck. And that's her. I know it. I was like, don't do that, because then y'all gonna be in there looking like the Doublemint twins, and we're not gonna do that.
We're not gonna. I know I had to come correct. You be fly, so I'm just trying to make sure I come correct. You mean?
Somebody has to say it. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm a little under the weather, so excuse my voice, but I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for still coming on, even though you're not feeling good. If you would have let me know, like, I don't feel good, we need to reschedule, it would have been just fine. We believe in Black men taking care of themselves now. So don't.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm straight. Ain't nothing. Just
Okay.
changing
Okay.
with the
Okay.
weather and all that. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So welcome. I'm so grateful to have you. I'm so excited. I started following you back a couple months ago, probably now at this point,
Yeah.
where you were featured on Black Christian Influencers
Oh
page. Yeah. And I seen the page and I'm like, and so then I went over to your page and I was like, oh, well, go ahead, praise the Lord, man of God, do your thing. And it's been great content. I almost unfollowed you because your fitness stuff is just like a lot of pressure. And now I'm like, I'll be watching on your page like with a cheesesteak, and I'm like, okay, Sabrina, nobody asked for that. Like, really?
I love cheesesteaks too. Look, I love cheesesteaks too. Yep.
Well, cheesesteak, we don't respond in the same. Our bodies don't respond in the same way to the cheesesteaks, clearly. Okay, and then we were able to connect a while back and got some merch from you, which I absolutely love. That's not what we're talking about today, but the most comfortable, like, child, sorry, my sister just came in my house.
Oh, she scared you.
She scared Whitney. You scared me. Yes, I am.
Hello.
Hey, sis.
Oh, hi, guys. Can you hear me?
You want to say hi?
No, I don't. I was impressed.
Anyway, she's scared. Did y'all see that? She scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened.
Honey, listen, we was about to go up. Y'all needed y'all to pray, call a cop, somebody. But anyway, it's a very comfortable set, and I'm excited about this conversation.
I appreciate that support too.
Awesome, no problem. So this is your first time on the Intimacy Firm,
yes.
And we always break everybody in with a game, which we will do. But what we also do is allow, typically it's Tosh said she yelled, hey, Whitney. Typically we believe that Black people need the space to give themselves their own flowers, right?
Okay.
So I could introduce you. I've done my research. I have some facts and figures and some tips and things, but I don't think it would do you any justice because you are the one that's in it, living it in the trenches. We have been equally up and ungodly at an hour, and I'm like, why you go lay down? He's like, why are you working? Like, you provide for your clients and things like that. So why don't you tell the people who you are, what you do, and why you are so dope?
Okay. All right. So I appreciate the intro that you did give me. As she mentioned, my name is Sabree Thompson. On Instagram, I'm 302 Breeze. Breeze is my nickname. My family called me Breezy, Breeze, whatever you like. I'm a realtor licensed in Delaware and also Pennsylvania. As Brittany mentioned, I'm also an online fitness coach. I have a YouTube channel where I provide at-home workouts. I'm all about living a fit and professional lifestyle. I have a brand entitled Fit and Professional. I just want to show people out there that they can be fit in their own right, and they can define it. We're all professionals in our own right. I'm a realtor. Someone may be a teacher. Someone may be, in a different field, but we can all be fit no matter how we define it. And I'm just trying to show people through my content. And I just love serving people. And I'm so dope because, I just want to change the world. And, with the little influence I do have, I just want to, let God's light shine through me and just want to show people he's the reason for it all.
Come on, somebody. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. Listen, y'all know we keep it raw and real over here. Typically, if it ain't Whitney, it's one of the kids. So y'all, listen, we professional, but we also real life people, real humans doing real things.
They love me.
Anyway, thank you so much for that introduction. And absolutely, you truly are dope, truly are inspiration. Like I have no ambitions to be in the real estate field any way, shape, or form. But every time I see you post a win, post a sale, see smiles on your clients' faces from the homes that you give them, I'm like, okay, come on, girl, go and get up and go and write this emails to reach out to this client. Like, it's motivation. When one win, we all win. So I really appreciate that. So what we're going to do now is our game. It is our classic "Are You More Like" game, right? Okay. And so I ask you a question. You've seen a couple of the episodes this season, so you might know how this goes. I ask you a question, and I'll give you two options, and you have to pick one. I know that you're a salesman, right? And so you're good with the gift of gab, but that's not going to serve you here. You get one. You have to pick one, then tell us why. Okay. Okay. You got it. All right. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna switch it up with you though, because I got to keep you on your toes.
Keep me on my toes.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. When you consider yourself as on a date,
Okay.
right? You as a person, as a first dater, if that was a thing, like a first dater, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you champagne or are you Casamigos? And the saints of God, don't act like y'all don't know what that is.
Champagne for sure.
Tell me why.
Because if it's a first date, if we made it to that point, past, nowadays everyone on social media, that's how conversations start, right? But we made it to the first date, it's a celebratory thing. And champagne, I look at it as celebration, so celebrating new beginnings.
Okay, I like that. That was very realtor of you. But how does that connect to you and how you are on first dates?
Well, yeah, technically, well, I do like tequila, but on a first date, I would probably drink wine or champagne.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really drink like hard, on like, unless it's like, like a family event or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that would just really be my choice if I had to pick. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I see. Okay. So now we passed the first date, right? We passed
Okay.
the first date and we are like, okay, that's that. Like I didn't, we saved the number because it take us. I mean, I don't know if men do that, but women, it take a while before we save the number in the phone. Like we have the number, we may use it,
Oh yeah,
but it don't
I heard of
always
that.
go on the contact list. Do men do that?
Nah, I save all the numbers. I save numbers just because in my profession I have to know who's calling me.
Okay.
My phone, so I do
Okay.
save numbers. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I
Yep.
might have broke girl code then by telling
No,
y'all.
I already know y'all
You
save
knew
our
that?
numbers unless listen, I grew up with a bunch of sisters and friends and women, so I know.
Okay. So we don't pass that stage. The numbers are saved. Everybody know who it is. This is the person that even if in the meeting you'll respond, you feel the need to give an explanation if you can't talk. Like we in that space now, right? Okay. And it is something happened. They had a bad day.
Okay.
You also had a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
During that time, are you antibiotics or multivitamins?
In that moment, we both had a bad day. I would say I like this question. That's a good question.
I think yes.
I would probably say multivitamin because it serves a longer purpose. The antibiotics is just for that specific purpose, but we both need it, and I feel like in that moment, if we both take the multivitamin, we can grow together, and while we're both down, in that moment, we can both grow together and get through it together.
Okay.
And then we got that. Now we got the antibodies that our immune system is growing strong together.
Okay, talk your talk. All right, now I done played it easy with you. Now it's time to crank it up. Now this is the piece de resistance.
Okay.
This is the 2-part question that everybody gets when you think about yourself as a sexual being. As a sexual being. If someone was looking for you at a department store, and they were looking for a sexual partner and you were in the department store, would they find you in the shoe department or the personal care department? So where the toothbrushes and the toothpaste and all of that is.
You said the shoe department or like the personal care?
Yeah, the hygiene section.
Hygiene. Probably that personal care section.
Why?
You said when I think of myself as a sexual person?
Yes, if as a sexual being, if somebody was looking for you as a sexual partner and they had to buy you from the store, would they buy you from personal care?
Personal care, hygiene is everything. Hygiene is everything.
Why? But listen, I want you to, when you answer though, think about yourself as a sexual being. How do what you find in personal care aisles connect to you as a sexual partner?
I would say, like in personal care items, like, like being a sexual partner, like when I'm kissing somebody, I want them to have fresh breath. And like and vice versa. Personal care, like, in our love areas, making sure that that's everything going on right down there. And, you know what I mean? So yeah, personal care, definitely.
Okay,
in every
now I'm
way.
gonna have to switch. Now I'm gonna switch this up because normally I let people answer on the reverse with the same options, but I'm gonna switch it up for you because.
Okay.
So if you were going to the store to buy your ideal partner, like
Mm-hmm.
the partner you prayed for, the partner of your dreams, if you was able to call God and said, "This is what I want in a sexual partner," and but you
Okay.
had to go pick them up from the store. Would
Okay.
you find them? I'm gonna do the OG options. Would you find them in the home goods section or
Okay.
the grocery section?
Mm, probably home goods
Why?
because you want, because when I think of myself as a sexual person, I'm big on intimacy. And when I think about home goods, I think about warmth. I think about feeling at home. I think about pleasure and being safe in that moment. So I feel like I would go to the home goods section.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Give me some. Come on, step it up. Y'all
Sorry, I
step
made
it
the
up.
game complicated for you.
No, no, it's not even complicated. It's like you're a thinker. I can tell. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. Like you analyze. You're a critical
Yep.
thinker. So you was looking behind the question and not really attacking it head on, which
Yeah.
is fine. Which is
Yeah.
fine. That's great. But thank you. That was fun per usual. Thank you so much. And as usual, for those who are watching along, like Brittany, what are you talking about? I like to play that game because when we're having conversations about love, intimacy, sex, relationships, we are talking about the same thing, but oftentimes we're not using the same language, and that encoding and decoding can be complicated, right? And it keeps us from reaching our goal. And when we use like games or like conversation starters like this, it helps to kind of level the playing ground so we can at least start off going in the right direction, right? So that's what this, I like to use this with my clients. So feel free to use this, folks who are watching, but make sure you tell the people where you got it from. Amen. So let's jump right on in this. We are talking love, legacy, partner selection,
Mhm.
dream chasing, blackness. We talking all of that. You are a successful Black realtor at what I presume, and correct me if I'm wrong, as a not all Black agency. Yes?
Correct. Correct.
How does it feel to be a Black man pioneering essentially
Mhm.
in this genre of work as well as in your area, like where
Mhm.
you, and then but you
Right.
also serve Black people. So
Right.
how does that work? What's that experience been like for you?
It's beautiful actually. I love it. Because now that I'm like a full-time entrepreneur and doing this business full time, I live and breathe this, and serving my people. I also serve other communities, other races as well. But when I serve my people, it gives me a different satisfaction
Mm-hmm.
because of the education part of it, and just knowing when I'm talking to people and we're talking about the home buying process, the barriers, and the things that some of our people don't know. It sometimes upsets me, but also I'm thankful that I'm in the space to educate them and motivate them along the process. Like for example, I was talking to a client the other day, and when I finally got her under contract, she literally like called me and was just like, she's like, I had to call you back because like I just really can't believe that this is happening. Like she's so used to things not going well for her in life, and she didn't think that home ownership was actually a bit like a possibility. Like she's over 50, we're gonna be buying their first home. So when I get that,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I fell in love with the business. You know what I'm saying? Because I get to educate my people and help them see the power of home ownership.
Yeah.
And then to answer the other part of your question, we just had like a client appreciation party,
Yeah.
right? And all my clients were most of the Black clients. Some of my other realtor partners, they had Black clients as well. But just like seeing them in that vicinity, I just blew up. Like I just like,
Yeah.
wow, like I like serve these people. You know what I'm saying? We're amongst all these other people as well. So it definitely
Yeah.
gives me a different satisfaction. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. I can imagine because as a sexologist, we have our crew of like Black sexologists and we're tight, like our community is tight. But as a whole, the field of sexology can be very white. And so being able to like kind of carve out this niche and really like change lives is just amazing. And I really
Hmm.
salute and really, and that's again a part of what my mother and me was born to do was really highlight those who are on the front lines trying to make life different and better
Hmm.
for our people. So I recently, my sister and I, Whitney, who was just here interrupting things, we just recently had to sell my mom's house after she passed.
And
And
y'all didn't
shout
call me.
You know, because here's the thing. So, and shout out to Antonio Goodman, our realtor. He did went the war for us. So we appreciate it. But I also did not know you were licensed in PA. I thought it was just Delaware.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Shout out to your realtor. I'm just messing
yeah,
with
he
you.
did his big one. He did his big one. But what I learned is that process is, and I was selling it. Like it was, granted, like even grief aside, like grief complicates, things. And it was like some stuff, we love mommy, but mommy, when we get to heaven, I have to have some conversations with her. I just put it like that. But there were some complications that made the sale complicated, right? Mm-hmm. And so I realized through that process, I was like, yo, I do not know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Like, and there's so much to home ownership that is like, why are we learning about parallelograms in school? Why are we not learning about FHA loans? Because so for we were trying to get and this is coming to a question, like I really have a question, but we were trying to get mortgage assistance.
Okay.
And it was the thing where we needed to assume the loan.
Okay.
And then get mortgage assistance, but you had to bring it current before you can assume the loan and do all the things. So we went through all of that process, but because FHA loan, you can't have an extra person on the thing and all the rules, right? There was so many rules to the thing, right? And I was sitting there like, how would I have ever known this? There is no book. There is no one pager. There is no step-by-step process for any of this. And so I can see why things like we talk legacy and wealth generation, the things that our fairer skinned counterparts kind of just know from birth is escapes us, and not for lack of trying. So what if you let's say top three, if you have more, that's fine. But what are the top three things that you wish our people knew coming into the home ownership or selling process?
Number one thing that comes to mind, and it goes on to, your situation, is creating a will. Because, I say that because I've done estate sales for family members myself, when a family member passed away. And, when it's not set up on what happens to that property after that person passes away, now it's not up to us to decide. Now it's up to the state.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So creating a will, and that's gonna relieve a lot of the issues, and also family issues that come up, because now it's like, oh, well, I'm entitled to this, I'm entitled to that, but we got a will, we take care of all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That would be the number one thing I would say. And then, like you said, like financial literacy, like saving, there are a lot of programs out there, in regards to down payment assistance, first time home buyer programs, a lot of great programs out there, but then there's other costs associated with home ownership, like your closing costs and things of that nature. So I always just tell people, as I became new to investing after the pandemic, I would consider myself financially illiterate before the pandemic in a lot of ways. So I would say just making sure we understand how money works and how it can work for us, the power of credit and the power of, saving and investing our money can really be, beneficial when it comes to, getting towards home ownership as well. And then lastly, I would say, in regards to home ownership, just educating yourself. Just educating yourself overall about it. Don't just fall for anything. There are some shiesty realtors out there. We do follow a code. If you're a part of the National Association of Realtors, you're supposed to have, ethics and values and things of that nature. Yeah. But always educate yourself. Get a second opinion when it comes to mortgages. Just because you talk to one lender, you can shop around, maybe for a better rate. Shop around for a realtor. Find something that works for you, and just make sure you educate yourself.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for that. Because one of the things that we connect this to relationships. Luckily, it's just my sister and I. So even though there was no will, we were the successor interest because it's only us, and so it was 50-50. It was very simple in that way. But the process was so stressful that even put us at odds sometimes. So what are some things couples should consider, or how do you, as a realtor, what have you seen as a realtor when couples are going through this process? How can the home buying process impact relationships.
Oh yeah, it's funny because like I see like it's some I work with a lot of couples, like some of them are really funny, like even when they disagree, you just see their dynamic, like when we're shopping and stuff. Like she want that walk-in closet, but he want the man cave. So I would say the first thing is just like sitting down and making sure y'all put a list together, so that way like y'all come to a senses on what are the must-haves.
Yeah.
And once you find a home that has those must-haves, even if one of the things on your list is not on there in her list, y'all have that compromise. Because I've been in homes and I'm like, let me back up. They about to start fighting in here. But I would say, yeah, that in regards to just picking out a home, but also
Yeah.
going back to finances, making sure y'all come up with a game plan together. And I think the day and age we are in right now with women and women evolving every day, having strong jobs. Sometimes women are the breadwinners. Making sure that we look at things as together and not just like my money and your money type of
Yeah.
thing. How can, when it comes to home ownership, how can we, come together and make the best decision that's going to be financially smart for our future, for our kids? Maybe it may not make sense for both of us to go on a mortgage. Maybe if you make the more income on paper, entrepreneurship, sometimes you write everything off, like making sure you make the right investment. And a lot of times I've seen people like, well, I want to, both of our names got to be on the mortgage.
Yeah.
And that's not always the smartest investment to make,
Yeah.
because what if, you get a house with your, under your name, I get a house under my name, for our first starter homes. And then when we get our home together, now we got two investment properties. You got to look at it like that, just
Yeah.
making a financial smart decision for y'all, sitting
Yeah.
down and, putting pride aside.
Yeah, that's so good, and actually was getting ready to be my next question. Like, if you would, I've heard, I work a lot with women, and when we going through, like, I ask them if every request to God was yes,
Mm-hmm.
what would your perfect partner and relationship look like? And when
Mm-hmm.
we get to like living in, like, because I have them build out their entire life, including their home and all that.
Okay.
And so a lot of them say, they don't want to buy a home until they're married. Like, they don't want to have to sell it or whatever, or I want us to buy this together, or nobody, or even if they're dating, they have this issue of yours versus mine. Like, I don't want to move into your house and then you could put me out, and I want to, the vice versa. But I'm like, if y'all already thinking about putting people out,
Maybe we had a different conversation.
we may need to have a different. Now, granted, like, prenups. People had that same argument with prenups. Like, if we got to get a prenup, why you already planning for our demise? But no, prenups it's just it's a smart business decision.
Right.
At that point, right? And I think I would argue that a lot of us think that way about prenups because we've not had access to anything that is really worth protecting, respectfully. Like,
Right.
like it, and I say that as someone right now, like, I do well for myself, but don't nobody need to sign a prenup for me. I ain't got nothing to give. I ain't got nothing to give you no way. So it's like, what I'm saying? What you want, Kate in the Carter? Because you can have, like, what I mean? Like, it's just, but I think that, so what do you, and I heard you say, like, you feel like if folks have their own homes, then now those are investment properties. And so we're talking about wealth building. What does that really, like, we hear it, investment properties, we hear the next millionaires, the billionaires are coming from real estate and all of that. And folks are getting real estate licenses, like they're getting haircuts. And what does that really mean? What is an investment property?
I mean, investment property, when you purchase a home as, just like your primary residence, that's an investment. Because now you're building equity on an appreciating asset over time. You know what I'm saying? So for example, me, I purchased my first home a couple years ago. So this is an investment property in a sense, because I can use it right now to make passive income. Say I wanted to just put it on Airbnb on the weekends, which I've done before, and make passive income. Now it's an investment property in that way. Say I move on, say I find a wife, we go and get another house and we live there. Now this house is a rental property. Now that tenant is paying my mortgage plus some, and I'm making profit on it. And then it's an investment also, like later on, maybe 10 years from now, when it appreciates and I built all this equity. Say I want to just pull out a HELOC, a home line equity or credit. We want to pull that out and make a home improvement, or I want to pull that equity I built out and maybe start a business or refinance. There's different ways that you can, utilize your asset. And then if you want to sell it, then you sell it for a profit. It was an investment. So it's all, yeah.
And so just to clarify, just to clarify some of the jargon a little bit,
Hmm.
pulling out equity means being able to get cash from.
Like a
Hold on,
cash out
don't tell me,
refinance.
don't tell me, don't tell
Oh,
me.
my bad, my bad, my
I
bad.
want to tell me. So, the way I hear it is, if I bought my home for 200K and I sit on it and do all these upgrades and blah 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 blah, and then I look up and now it's worth 250K,
Hmm.
and I want to take $20,000 out of the 50 to make some changes, I can get that in cash because of the equity bill. Is that what pull out
Yeah, and
equity?
it's not just like specifically cash. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm just taking this cash out. It's not like
I
that.
can't go to
Like, yeah,
Dubai with that money.
yeah, like it's not like there.
Oh, okay.
I would say, I would say talk to a lender about the way you pull it out, but it's not like, oh yeah, I just pull that money out. But there's ways to access
Got you, got
your
you.
equity. Yeah,
But conceptually, I was
conceptually,
I
yeah,
was right. Amen. Amen. Amen.
yeah,
Amen. Okay, and
yeah.
so all right, so let's transition a little bit into like partner selection, right? As
Okay.
we begin to dream big, I'm sure like you do well for yourself, but I'm sure that there's more that you are, believing God for.
Hmm.
Right. So let's start there. Like, because I love Black men, Black women being able to dream out loud is
Hmm.
it's a rarity. Like, that's not something that we get to do because we have to be so busy focusing on the now that we don't get the joy of the next without it getting squashed out of us. So
Right.
use this opportunity right now. Tell the people, what is Sabri working for? Like, what does legacy, why are you working so hard? What does that look like? Where are you going? What are you hoping for?
Hmm.
What is your dream?
So for me, I mean, you basically just saying my why. So my why, I have a son. I have a son. He will be 8 next month, right?
Mhm.
And I had him when I was 19. I was playing college basketball in a different state, far away. So I had him at that young age, and when I had him, like everything changed.
Mhm.
I became like, people would be like, "Oh, you always doing something different," but it started back then. Like I had to, I was a full time Division One athlete. I had to make sure my grades were up, and I also had to learn how to be a father when I didn't really have my father. My father's been incarcerated my whole life, so I
Yeah.
didn't even have an example on what that looks like. So when people talk to me, I always like, I'm like the epitome of like daddy issues because
Mm.
like I deal with so much. My dad still being incarcerated,
Yeah.
and then my son being far away from me.
Mm.
So when I graduated, I came back home because I needed to get it. I had to get a job. I was trying to pursue professional basketball, but that didn't really work out for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just start working. I got a responsibility.
Mm.
And ever since I had my son, it was always a pursuit on how am I going to create a lifestyle where I'm going to be able to still be around him financially. He's good, he's taken care of financially, but also, be around him and have an influence on his life.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I look back at my life and a lot of things, and when it comes to relationships and just overall life, if I had a father, who was present, I know a lot of
Mhm.
things I would have avoided. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So that's really my pursuit every day. So like, I started working for the government right out of college, and I just knew that wasn't for me. I
Mhm.
felt like I was dying at a cubicle, and I just was like, I said, what we gonna do? Like, you gotta
Mhm.
figure it out. I didn't try so many things. That's how I got into fitness. I started personal training,
Yeah.
but the money wasn't really, doing what I needed to do. Like going to see my son is like cost thousands of dollars to go get him. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I was like, I need another way for income. So I went to real estate school.
Mhm.
I went to real estate school, and in 2019 got my license, and then like literally that next month I got my first sale, and
Mm.
that woman as well, she was over 50, and it was her
Mhm.
first home, and right from there I fell in love with that process. Like
Yeah.
having someone like your home is most of the time, most people like the biggest investment you ever make. So having someone trust me with that process and then see the emotions they have when they didn't think it was even possible, and I'm like one of the reasons that they got there, like
Yeah.
that was priceless. And I was
Yeah.
like, I think God wants me to be doing this. It gave me a different satisfaction. So then over time, building my pipeline and building my business over the years, I told myself when I got in business, I said, hey, on year 3, I'm going to go full time, and this is what
Yeah.
I'm going to do. And and the reason I want to do that is because I can create my own schedule. If I want to go just see my son on a Wednesday, I can do that. I don't have to get no paid time off
Yeah.
and things of that nature. So I worked for it, and by God's grace, I left my job earlier this year, and
Oh,
it
awesome.
wasn't right on year 3, but it was like 3.5 years.
Oh,
So
awesome. And so this
Yep.
is what you see yourself doing for the rest of your until retirement. This is
This and then other things, I'm building, I have an online fitness platform and I have like, online programs that I'm going to be dropping soon. Um, I want to write a book about, my journey, like a self-help book, motivational book. As my content, like a lot of
yeah,
motivational stuff.
yeah.
I want to write a book about that and share my story, grow my brand, Fit and Professional, the clothing line, and also not just with clothes. Like I want to like just do a lot of different things with that.
Mm-hmm.
I just really just whatever God has for me, I really just want to just fulfill that purpose and let His light shine through me.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's no like one thing to do that, and in our life we're all writing our own autobiography, right?
Yeah.
Like if one day I want to be a realtor, I can do that. If the next day I want to be a fitness coach, I have the right to turn the page to the next chapter.
Yeah.
So whatever God has for me, of course I love real estate, I love fitness, I love, whatever it is, I know it's going to be serving people.
Mm-hmm.
But in this chapter right now, it is real estate and just helping people, gain wealth and gain long-term wealth through real estate.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's good. I'm excited, and I'll be, touching and agreeing with you that the Lord enlarge your territory. Amen.
Likewise, what you said, your son, that prophecy your son had for you, I heard that the other day, and that's going to come true. And I pray that, and we claim that in Jesus' name for sure.
Listen, Sabri, you don't know me, but I will break out in tears. So please don't even do it.
Hey, listen, I love to see it.
I'm already like this. My nephew had a game today and they won, and I barely came down from that. So please, everybody, just please.
It's gonna happen.
Listen, I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. So Will Trader, you mentioned something about I don't know if you mentioned it, but I'm gonna say it as a segue anyway. You mentioned something about, you definitely mentioned being Christian for sure. So this counts, but also something about dating. And I scrolling through Instagram the other day. I happened upon an ad for Upward, the Christian dating app, and who did I see but no other than 302 Breeze himself. So number one, tell us what that like partnership was like, how that came to be, and then talk about if any experience you've had on dating apps.
So that partnership came about, as you mentioned in the beginning. I'm a member of BCI, Black Christian Influencers. So I got that deal through them. They reached out and they wanted me to make some content, and then I actually did download the app. And I was scrolling on there, but I never went on any dates. And just overall experience with dating apps. I've never really been big into them. I ain't gonna lie, so I never had one. I've had one before. Like I was on an app called what was it called? Hinge. Yeah. Hinge. When it first came out, I was on that, and it was just like, nah, that's not really for me.
That's not your deal. Yeah, that's not it. So you prefer that you need to meet people in person. You prefer the more organic approach.
I would say in this chapter of my life, I would say before I used to I wasn't the type to go up to people in person. I was like a shy kid growing up, but now where I'm at in my life, I would definitely I wouldn't be scared to talk to someone in person. And I mean, most things happen on social media. That's where it starts. You send the hard eyes, back and forth. That's where it starts, and then we'll set a date from there. I feel like that's how most dates and things come about now.
You smooth. You a smooth player. You Vanessa. Mr. Dresser to Vanessa, huh?
God working on me.
And we had talked briefly about just that God working on me piece. Like you're in this season because when I put the flyer out, the women of God were in a tizzy. Okay, they says who is that? What's the stats? What's the deets? Right.
Right.
And you said single, but not so yet ready to mingle because God is working on you. So how long has he been working on you, and what have you learned in this season of single and unavailable, if that's how you categorize yourself?
Yeah, I like that, single and unavailable. I would say that for sure. God's always working on us, right? And but in this season, I think he's really working on my patience. Because I'm the type of guy I'm not like a multi woman type of guy. I don't like to be dating multiple people. That's just never been my thing. like, I ain't gonna say I never like talk to people. Like, I've had my days, I had to grow up,
We
but
praise the
like,
Lord for
back
it.
in college and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but now, when I became a man and stuff like that, and I got responsibilities, like, I really just don't have. First off, I don't have time to be talking to multiple people. And where I'm at right now, I think God is teaching me patience because I'm the person that likes to jump right in. Like,
Mm-hmm.
anything I do, I like to give it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right now where I'm at, and building my business and the type of lifestyle I have, like, I'm super busy all the
Mm-hmm.
time. Not saying you don't make time for what's important. Like, you definitely make time for what's important. And a woman, the woman in my life is going to be super important.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I think God is teaching me patience, teaching me focus, and, giving me some time to heal from previous situations, heal wounds that I never healed and I just covered up by jumping into another relationship or another
Yeah.
situation. And I
Yeah.
think he's really just trying to just prepare me for, whoever my wife will be, just so I can be, whole for her, because
Yeah.
I don't want to go into another situation broken because, a woman, vice versa, a woman and a man doesn't deserve someone who's broken to the point where when we're trying to pick up the pieces, we get cut in the midst of it. So I just
Mm-hmm.
feel like I deserve the woman I'm going to be with deserves for me to be healed mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Yeah, I love
Yep.
that, and I love the self awareness, which is that we think about, like, those which are becoming buzzwords, but are still really true for what we need in life. Like, this
Mm-hmm.
emotional intelligence, self awareness is a huge part of that. So if you could look back, we're gonna slide into we got everybody to break some bro code. Yeah, and you're
Uh-oh.
not gonna get out. You're gonna have to break the bro code a little bit
Break the
today.
bro
But let's,
code? Okay.
yeah, we have to break bro
Fellas,
code.
forgive
But
me.
let's start right here. Let's start internal, then we'll go external. If you would look back to the Breezy of old,
Mm-hmm.
what were some of your red flags that the women you dated or were involved with overlooked?
Red flags about me?
Yes.
Red flags about me. I would say my communication wasn't always the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that women probably avoided that. Like, when they would see something, like, um, sometimes, like, in the past, like, I'll be transparent. Like, the things that I've struggled with was opening up to someone because
Mm-hmm.
in my worst times and my times of when I struggled, I always go into isolation. I feel like I can conquer the world by myself. So I think red flags would probably be that, like, when I show signs of, like, oh dang, like, what's wrong with him today? I wear my emotions. I'm very animated. So maybe just ignoring that was like an issue I had.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Red flags. You said the breezy of old.
Of old.
Uh,
I
I
mean, you
would
got
say.
some current red flags. Telling people about it.
I mean, we all probably got red flags. I wouldn't call myself red. I wouldn't say red flags, but I would say we all have flaws for sure.
No, I ain't talking
Um,
flaws. We all got flaws. I'm talking about danger, danger, danger. Will Robinson,
danger.
like red flag.
Oh
Now
no,
that
she's
may
safe.
not be now because you
She's
said
safe
God's
with me
working on you
now.
right
She's
now.
safe with me now.
Oh, okay. She's safe now, but before, so
Yeah.
you didn't really share your feelings.
Hmm.
You were cocooned during hard times.
Yeah.
Nothing that, but you also said you wasn't really a multiple woman man, so it wasn't like a bunch of cheating and all of that. Ain't like that wasn't your jam.
Nah, that's never really been like in relationships. Nah, that's never been me.
Yeah.
Like in my college days, I may have like had multiple friends and stuff like that, but in like
Mm-hmm.
a committed relationship, I've never been that type of dude. So
Mm-hmm.
that's never been a red flag for me.
I have a lot of male friends, and I've had male friends for most of my life, and y'all really like to throw that word "friend" around. Y'all
What is it?
really like to throw like the categorize, like y'all use it as a get out of jail free card. So let's bring it to your brethren, the black male delegation. What do
Okay,
you think amongst your friends? Let's start among your friends.
among my friends. Okay.
Among your friends, or you go, because your bro code, I got a feeling your bro code is real strong. So maybe go a little bit wider. What are
Okay.
some of the, for just in your experience,
Mm-hmm.
are the red flags that black women tend to overlook?
Um, Overlook probably like baby mamas.
Say more about that.
I would say that like not. I don't want. I shouldn't even use that word, but women, guys who have children, like if like they say they're not dealing with them, but like just ignoring that sometimes. I would think so. Just being honest. Just being honest.
So what you're saying is they're circling the
They
block.
circling the block. Yeah, yeah. I would say that. But sometimes it be right in their face. And then a lot of times women, I know like women personally, like, you know, people, women that are close to me that ignore the red flags and they go back to it after it
Mm-hmm.
already happened, you know.
Yeah.
And I have a sister, you know what I'm saying, like, and she wouldn't be ashamed of me because she has a platform where she shares this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying, she's been a victim of that.
Yeah.
But also she had to take accountability for, like you said, circling back after things happen. I think a lot of women, you know, see the good in men a lot of times. Like women give us a lot of second chances. I would say that vice versa. Like us, like if one thing that a woman does, we cutting them right off.
Mm-hmm.
But women give us a lot of chances. So thank you, Black women, for the grace. But yeah, no, I would say that would be the biggest thing just from our like immediate circle. Red flags. I mean, cheating, that's like the biggest thing. Like like a guy that's like a player. Really, yeah. Like sometimes it's like, oh yeah, that's just my friend, or that's just
there go that friend is.
I mean, but we gonna get into this because friend. All right, the reason I say friend in my adulthood is because growing up, when my mom had a little
a little friend,
guy,
but you knew that wasn't
a friend.
Right?
Yeah, but what else is it though? What do you call it? What do you call it if you're not like? What do you call it if you're not like?
You call
that
it
weird stage when y'all talking and stuff. What do you call it?
There's no weird stage. Yes, let's get into this because here's what
I'm very interested. I'm very interested
because there's no weird stage. People are in. Here's the thing. People like to say we're not in a relationship. You absolute any type of recurring engagement with a person where there's expectations, it's a relationship. It may not be an exclusive one, but y'all are absolutely in a relationship and you are deluding yourself if you think that you're not. So what it comes down to it is, are you all on the same page with the relationship trajectory, right? We stop at the what are we? And we really need to look at the where are we going? Because where are we going is a better question to determine what behavior is appropriate or not appropriate. Because if we're working towards building something, if we're courting, until we may not have necessarily had the are you seeing other people conversation, but if we are on the phone all hours of the day or whatever communication style works for you, if you don't hear from me, there's an expectation that I'm going to answer for it. If you are, if there are things that I do with other genders that you have a problem with, now we're not just friends. And
I agree with you.
Yeah, you know.
I'm saying, but as long as that communication is there, like we have to have that communication on what it is. Like if I'm dating, like all right, for example, let's take it from day one.
Go on.
Day one, me, a young lady and I, we exchanged numbers. We're talking back and forth, texting. We at that stage. We haven't even went on a date yet. What would you call that? Just getting to know each other, right? If someone, okay, and then we go out on a date and things of that nature. It's just our first date. But like, say I just run into like, say my cousin or somebody just see me or something like that. And they be like, oh, who is this? What I'm going to say? My friend.
No, you're going to say, hey, this is Brittany. How Brittany? We're not nothing.
introduce somebody her name, but like later on,
that's it. We're not nothing.
Just
we
introduce somebody her name. We're nothing. We're not friends.
No, we're nothing. No, we're not friends. I don't know you on the first date to be your friend. Like,
okay. I see where I see.
And so and that's the thing. Like my pastor says all the time that we make an idol out of certainty, and I think that's how our brain works. We need to categorize and label things because we do not like to live in the ambiguity, and so and because of such, we make things that aren't things, and so we also don't, especially the Christian community, we don't know how to engage in intergender connections that have no sexual motivation, and thus every connection we have, we put stuff on it that we are out here eisegeting relationships. Like, for those of preachers in the room, y'all know that's funny to me. We putting things on it that's not there, right? So if I meet you, we exchange numbers. Yeah. If we exchange numbers and I meet you, you are somebody I am attracted to. That is the only thing that you can be for sure, is that we are attracted to each other because we exchange numbers. Because what else do you want my number for? Right. We're not talking business. I ain't buying no house. Okay. So what else is it? What else is it about? Unless I'm praying for you, what else we talking about, right? So we're talking attraction, right? So now we're going and follow your example. Now we're on date one. Okay. We've talked long enough that I'm attracted to you, and now I want to know more about you.
Right.
Right? Because
Okay.
over the first couple of conversations, I realized you're not an idiot. And now I can, I'm not afraid of you.
Right.
And I'm still gonna drop my location to my friends, but now we can go out.
Right.
Right? Now we can go out.
As you should.
We're out on a day, out for dinner. You come up with, I see somebody, you see somebody, like, oh, this is Brittany, blah, blah, blah. That's it. There's no conversation as to what it is, because it's nothing. Right.
Right.
Now we go beyond that, and now we're dating regularly. Like, I'll see you later. I'm gonna leave the door unlocked. Meet me at the house, like, or you want something? I bought you this. Are you hungry? I'm bringing this home, like that, dropping off type of thing. And now your friends, your people know me by name and that kind of thing. Now you may be friends, but now like people don't use this language, but because my grandma used to say that's her special friend. That's how my grandma used to.
Special friend. Yep.
That's what our grandma used to call it, the special friend. But we all knew friend was how we categorized it for the other people.
Okay.
And so I remember this guy, older guy, I was 18, he was 36. Problem. We know it. So, but he introduced me at this party as his old lady. And I was, besides the fact that I was bothered.
He's from down south?
Baltimore, like not even all the way down south.
That's how they talk though. That's like, I went to school down south, like you like this, like how we would say this is my lady, like that's, they like, this is my old lady. Like,
right. But here's the thing though, we were just talking, like there was no, and so my 18-year-old self, her old lady, and was like, all giddy and dumb behind it, right? But then in the same way, this friend concept, if I am talking to you every day, if we doing all the things that I just mentioned, and you introduce me to somebody as your friend, now I'm like, oh, really? Cool. Say less. And now I'm changed because that terminology does not match our relationship, and it matches what we talked in other episodes about, like sneaky links and stuff like that. Like that's how people. I want to call it something else, because what that does, ultimately, what it does is it keeps accountability and responsibility at bay. If I call you my friend, I can get all the friendly benefits, sex or not, without you having to be able to expect anything from me. And then if you decide to expect more from me than I'm willing to give, I can say, oh, we were just friends.
Oh, okay. See, I'm learning. I want to learn this. No, I'm dead serious. I'm learning this like from a woman's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because as men, I'm not like some men may say that like, oh yeah, it's my friend just so I can keep it at bay, or I can, just in case, like I want to get, for whatever reason they're in that situation for, if I want to get out of it, oh, we were just friends. I definitely understand that. So I appreciate your perspective on that. But also, you have to look at it from the perspective of like, really, like you have to be friends first with somebody. Like I'm not saying like, oh, I'm introducing you as my friend because I don't want, other people to know. Like I see what you're saying, but you also have to have that. You have to be a friend with somebody first.
Yeah.
So you're saying, I'm just trying to learn too. So like for the future reference,
Okay.
So I don't be making a woman feel some type of way by calling her friend, because maybe I've been doing it wrong. Maybe I've been making her feel some type of way by introducing her as friend,
And yeah, but I think really what it comes down to, because like I said, all the time, I think a lot of times we use friend and those type of categories for other people, because other people need to know what we are.
Okay.
Right. It's not their business, but to make it make sense, we keep spending all this time together.
Right.
Like, and TikTok is this whole thing about how I'm salty about my man that's not my man, and I ain't hear from him all day. Like, and so that kind of concept is where friends, and I'll put it like this, I'm not going to make it a hard and fast rule, but it runs the risk of that, like incongruence in who are we and where are we going, type of conversation. Because the thing is that why does it, as much as it could be friends, are y'all really friends, or is that just a catch-all that we're using because I don't know, you're not my girlfriend?
Because we're in that limbo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it comes down to the communication. Like if we're on the phone every night, I'm checking in with you throughout the day, I'm saying good morning and all that. Like we know where we're getting into. He said,
Kai shut it down, said, well, so what do you call her? Why do we feel the need to call her anything? Now, here's the thing. If that is your friend, then call her your friend. But here's the thing. There are certain things that I don't do with my friends. There are certain conversations that I don't have with my friend. And so that is where the incongruence comes in, right? We're friends, but in some instances, you know, I'm holding on to God's unchanging hand. But in some instances, y'all doing it, y'all having sex. You have sex with your friends? Like that doesn't
not supposed to.
Okay. You go I mean now like we're going on.
Some people have casual sex.
Right. But that's the thing. That's when we're walking the minefield. Now you picking up what I'm putting down. Y'all going on vacations with my friend. We taking no face, no trace pictures of meals with just the wristwatch in the picture. Like, you know, we're taking the picture holding 100 roses with your hand holding back like you got somebody's hand. You doing all of that with just your friend? Like that.
I'm saying, like, if it's an understanding though, I think it all comes down to communication. Like I see people saying, someone said, so if you're giving her all your time and communication, then who is she to you? Right. Well, if she's if I'm giving her all that time, then like I'm not, like you said, I'm not going to introduce her as like, oh yeah, this is my friend so and so. I'm going to introduce her as her name. If someone like that I know personally is going to ask me like, okay, like who is it? Like, oh y'all, yeah, we get to know each other. Like we talking. Like I'm going, you know, break it down from there. But like for like quick things, like you said, like I'm gonna say that's my special friend, like grandma say, like until we get to that point, you know, it comes down to communication. Like some people, you know, have casual sex and they have that understanding. Like if that's what they're cool with, some people cool with that. Some people aren't. Some people want to wait. I think it all comes down to that communication that you have with them and just being transparent from the front. Like if you know you don't have any intentions on dating them, you're not dating for marriage, that's not what you're dating, let them know that, because I think women actually do value that more than you leading them on just to get something out of them. If that's all you there is for a good time, let them know. If they with it, they not, and then keep it pushing.
Yeah, we talk, and Mish for real say, y'all never heard of friends with benefits. And I think really, Mish, that's the key to this conversation is we have heard of friends with benefits, but I think friends with benefits is a fallacy. I think that is something we've told ourselves because it's as close to a relationship as we can get. I don't, and this is me personally, this is she, me, her, Brittany. My opinion is nobody is genuinely happy in a friends with benefits situation for extended periods of time. I feel like casual sex eventually leads to feelings, and when it starts in a friends with benefits type of situation without the communication, and sometimes even with it, it leads to disappointment and heartbreak. And I also think the casual use of the word, the casual use of the word friend waters down what you said earlier when you said to build a healthy relationship you have to be friends first. But if we play fast and loose with the word friends of some people who we just know or some people we're just sleeping with, then that really waters down and muddies the waters of what I'm trying to build as we are building legacy, building partner selection, as we are courting and getting. I want to get to know each other, because what friends first means is, can I trust you? What friends first means, can I share my dreams with you? Can I be vulnerable with you? As we talked about earlier, when I had that bad day, can I call on you to listen without making it about you? Are you concerned about me? Do you consider me in your thoughts and your decision making? If you're in a space where somebody's not regarding me well, are you coming to my defense? Do you honor me? That's what friendship is. This relationship with no accountability that's not friendship. So what it is y'all are in a non-exclusive relationship. So when people ask, well, what do we call them then? Oh, we're dating. You can say that. We're going out. We're together, but it's not exclusive. Folks don't want. That's the thing that people have issue with. But you know, what do I know?
I've seen so. No, I agree with you 100%. I definitely think that friends with benefits is not a long-term thing, and eventually someone's going to end up getting hurt if y'all don't take that next step and becoming like a relationship or whatever. But someone said, "What is the title like, and why are you nervous about the title?" Oh no, I'm not. Like I'm not saying I was nervous about the title. I was just trying to figure out what you call them. Like I don't have a problem. Like if I'm dating someone, like we're dating, or that's my girlfriend, or wherever we are in that stage, like. but just having that communication, okay, we established that that's where we are at that moment.
Right. Right.
I think that's what it all comes down to. Just the communication. And, you know, like for me, like I'm just gonna be transparent about it. Like if I don't, I'm in the stage of my life right now where I'm not dating for no reason. Like when I do date, it's gonna be purposeful. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, because I do want, I care about the legacy. I do want to find a woman that I can build something with, because I feel like, you know, in our community, like that's what we lack. We don't see a lot of healthy relationships. We don't see a lot of men and women, you know, marriages and them growing the family. We're seeing it more often.
Right.
I do see it more often. But like for me, I didn't grow up with that. And you can see the effect when I have relationships of not seeing what it looks like for a man, how he's supposed to love a woman.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of the issues we have in our community, you know, can be solidified, you know, with that foundation, with the traditional man and woman, you know, wife, you know, head of household, things of that nature. But I mean, that's another conversation on why a lot of black men aren't there. But
definitely.
But,
And you said something earlier about black women give black men a lot of grace. And I believe, you know, we do. And that's just what black women give the world grace. Like that's why we are like I forgot who was. I feel like it was Nina Simone. It might have been Audre Lorde. I'm not sure who said the black women are the ox of the country or something. Like we carry all the things on our backs and we're expected to smile and flow and just, you know, figure it out and grin and bear in the things that we do. But I think in this, especially in our generation, I think what grace looks like now, like Ride or Die has taken on a new look, right? Now it's be his peace, right? And it's the, you know, as long as he comes home to me and like all of these things. And we have, you know, we see relationships on TV or on social media where it's struggle after struggle after struggle after struggle before they get the love that they, you know, so richly deserve. And I think that grace in this time looks like no accountability. It looks like being comfortable with him calling you his friend when you know that y'all are so much more than that. If I knew we were just friends, there was so much more that I wouldn't do. And so I think in the same way, and this is not a bashing of black men in any way, but I think that black men have the freedom not to decide until they're ready to decide. And then black women have to deal until it has been decided that they are the ones. And it's almost like that is what loyalty looks like, that I stayed down, that she stays 10 toes down for me until I got myself together. But which is fine, because you will ride for your man, but ride for your man. Okay? And ride for your man who's riding for you. I seen a post earlier that said he don't play about me or he can't get enough of me means nothing when he doesn't respect you. Right? And I think that again, respect is another word we playing fast and loose with, because is he yelling and screaming and cussing at you? Maybe not. Is he putting his hands on you? Maybe not. But again, back to the friendship piece. Does he regard you? Is he considerate of you? Are you able to tell him, I want more? Are you a desiring exclusivity, but fear if you tell him that he's going to pull back? So when y'all had your code word for he on another date, when like, yo, you try and go get something, like, nah, I got plans, and you know I got plans mean it's another shorty, and you like, oh, okay, cool, and then you go find something to do, and now you in the streets because you really want to be home up under him, but now you're finding something to do to make it seem like you so unbothered. Why do we want that? Why do we do that? At least that we got to move on, and they'll start making the decision, and that's so true. And Sabri, I want you to speak into that a little bit. Why is it, or why do you think that it's after the ultimatum or I'm out when people decided they didn't want to get it together?
I think because if he really has feelings for her, then he don't want to see nobody else with her. So like, yeah, like he may, and I think that comes down to the woman setting her standard in the beginning. Like if a man if he feel like he's getting away with it, like if he feel like he can get all these benefits and all these things and still keep you in that friend zone, then, you know, some man gonna keep you there. But if you put your foot down, or you set certain boundaries and certain standards, I'm pretty sure that, you know, if he's the man for you and he really wants you, he's going to show it. He's going to make a different effort. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants to get closer to, you know, what you're holding back from him. So now if you're going out and you're like, when someone said they start moving around, now that man's thinking like, dang, somebody else might get her. Like when you gave him a taste on what, like, you know, what it might be like to be with him. I mean, to be with you. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you see that she's a down woman, like she got it going on, she's super dope. Like I could see her being, you know, the future missus. But you know, I'm dragging my feet. You know, if I see that someone else might get that, if he really wants you, you'll see. Yeah.
Pick me, call me.
Your turn.
Is there a difference between I want you and I don't want anybody else to have you?
Yeah.
Because what you just explained sounds like I don't want anybody else.
Anyone else to have you.
Is that true, or am I hearing you wrong?
I think it can be true. I think it can be true. Like a man could want, you know, basically want, what's the saying they say, like the cake and eat it too? Is that the right saying in that situation? Like, you know, some men may not be ready to settle down, but they don't want anybody else to have you, and they want to keep you around, you know, when they are ready. And that's not fair. That's not fair, but just being transparent that I definitely think they're different. But then also you setting that standard may make that man grow up and be like, you know what, I ain't losing out on this blessing. So I think it could be a difference, but it also could, you know, work hand in hand, and that could be the thing. Like,
okay, school your sister, because I'm gonna try now. I'm not gonna be pessimistic. We believe black men over here. So school your sisters and tell us how will we know the difference between he acting right because he just don't want me to leave, and then like he got me back in poppy, he gonna continue to be ridiculous, or he's learned his lesson. Like, well, okay, I'm gonna simplify it. What does a man look like who has learned his lesson?
Or who basically like who's getting it together, like, or I would say that's gonna be case by case basis, of course. It's gonna be case by case basis. So like if a man, you say you were longing for certain things like his attention and things of that nature, or that title or something like that, you know, if you go away for, or if the distance sometimes makes your heart grow fonder in a way, and he comes back and now all the things you were asking for, now he's doing that. I think his actions are going to speak louder than his words, because he can tell you all day. Like, yeah, I want you, I'm just wasting time, blah, blah, blah. But as long as, if the actions aren't behind it, then that's the ultimate test. And also just, you got to trust your discernment. Like if in your gut, you just got a feeling that, like you said, like he might be on a date with somebody else, or he's playing games. Sometimes you got to trust that. But then also, you also have to have faith sometimes too. So you run that risk, you know, and then vice versa. Like with men, you know, you run that risk. Like we never know what someone's really doing or what someone's true intentions are.
Yeah.
You really don't. Sometimes you just gotta just trust it and pray if that's the right person. And you know, when you see those red flags, don't ignore them. So yeah, it's tough to know. You never know what someone's real intentions are, because people go years. People go years without showing who they truly are. You know, on both sides. You could be with somebody for 10 years, and then you see who they really are on year 11.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah.
Okay.
That's the game we in.
that love is a game. Love is, I mean, I hate that love is a game, but unfortunately it's just what it is. When you're talking about imperfect people, flawed people trying to make beauty out of ashes, it comes with the territory. And because of intimacy, there's vulnerability. Whenever there is vulnerability or a call for vulnerability, there is risk. There's go ahead.
I think my uncle's on here. I think what he just said, he said, do y'all realize the roles have changed because that's the way women carry it now?
Okay.
So, all right, let's flip it.
Okay, go ahead.
On social media, I think social media is super powerful, but when it comes to like relationships, it can be super toxic. Oh my gosh. So like when you, and I think your algorithm will also determine what pops up on your feed, of course, which you're showing attention to. But it definitely, I feel like a lot of men right now, I think like you said, like how does a man know? I mean, how does a woman know if a man is like ready or changed? A lot of times it's not the women, it's the man chasing the woman nowadays. And a lot of men, I can speak for, you know, the men in my circle and men that I know who are trying to, I'm 27, right? So I'm at the age where we're all trying to establish our careers and things of that nature. You know, a lot of women, will like turn down a really good man because he's not where he's at in life. Because I feel like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times we're only valued for what we can provide,
Mm-hmm.
at that moment. So I definitely think it also case by case basis, but a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times it's the man chasing a woman nowadays because of what they see. And a
Yeah.
lot of times, these lifestyles, seeing people see everybody going on vacation, and if a man can't do that right now, maybe he's not the one for me. Was that
Yeah.
grass greener on the other side, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like even us men, we see the half naked women on social media, or somebody that may be on the surface more beautiful than the woman I have now. Now it's like, okay, what's on the other side?
Yeah.
But that all goes back to what you're
Yeah.
looking at. You gotta be selective on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't realize you were 27, so I take back our generation because we're not in the same. It's
We're
not.
not in the same
Not
generation.
no, I got.
Okay.
Oh, I can't do no math. Hold on. I got 7 years on you.
You're still young. You look good.
I mean, oh, clearly, very much. That
Yeah.
wasn't up for debate. I'm just saying we're not. We're not in the same generation, but that also makes sense though, right? Because even with your uncle's talking about is like I've seen that with some younger ones. Like I think you seen that like that thing that went viral when a girl was in a parking lot. She was upset because her boyfriend didn't pay for all her friends at her birthday party. And I
Yep.
was like, I that math wasn't mathing for me. That like, cause he's not going to pay for y'all. He's coming to pay for me. And
Yeah.
maybe my sister, possibly, but we like, I don't understand. So that part, and I do, and y'all are not wrong. I have seen that, but what I do think that is a response of like, it's like a pushback. Like this is what has been happening by way of like toxic masculinity and things like that for all the years. So women are now like reclaiming
Yeah.
their savage, their whole phase, their hot girl summer and all those things where it's like, I'm not going to be used anymore. I'm not going to be taken
Right.
advantage of anymore. I'm going to get what I can get before I get got and all of those things. But again, that's not to over spiritualize it, but that's what happens in a fallen world where
Yeah.
we are broken people. And the core of we started this season unpacking what happened with Eve and Adam in the garden and how the serpent came in and stir up the confusion. And
Yep.
Genesis, was it 3:16 when it says your desire will be for your husband, but he will rule over you. And now that is really the start of why we are always at odds with one another as we work to kind of do things the Lord's way. And so I think it's one of those things that we individually will make decisions for it to be better, but
Mm-hmm.
collectively this will always be that thing that we have to battle. Because if we think about whole intact people, healed people, men and women growing together, becoming husband and
Yeah.
starting families, building wealth, putting the enemy like on his he's already on his belly, but really stomping on
Mm-hmm.
the head of the enemy, breaking generational curses and all of that. Like, imagine what life would be like. So of course the enemy's not just going to step aside and let us just, skip into happiness, right?
Right.
Right.
But
This
that goes
was,
back to what you
go ahead.
said, like
Go
in regards to, sorry, I cut you off. Like,
ahead.
we were talking about that earlier when you asked me about like tips for like couples when it comes to real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Like where you said the society we're in right now, there's too much of this.
Yep.
And we see it with social media every day. Like, why are men and women competing with one another? Like, no, I don't want to compete with you. I want to eat with you, And that's the biggest problem. I feel like that's the biggest problem. Like you said, from that perspective, women feel devalued sometimes. So they feel like they're like, because women are coming to their own. I'm so proud of women, especially Black women right now. Like everything that they're doing and barriers they're breaking. The world is changing. It's not like back then when a woman was a stay-at-home wife.
Yeah.
Women make sometimes in a lot of fields, women are breaking the barriers and making, more money than men. There's still a lot of disparities on that, and I definitely feel like women are underpaid.
Yeah.
But in overall, like women have made beautiful strides, and they're in positions of leadership. And I think sometimes it's too much of like competition.
Yep.
When it should be collaboration. Because just think about how powerful a woman at that stature is with a man at that stature, even if that man is below. As a man, most men have that. We have that within us. If a woman is doing better than us, we're going to step it up. Like we're going to like I want a woman that's going to motivate me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there may be times where if my wife is, you know, she's better financially, it's okay. But like, then there may be times where I got to pick up the slack. But that's where the partnership comes in, you know, for better or for worse. But are we really ready to have that conversation? Are women sometimes, even women and men, are we going to be able to compromise? Are we going to be able to put our pride to the side? You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of times men, it's intimidating, like when a woman makes more than you or whatever, or you know, they feel like they're not of value, because sometimes women may throw it in their face.
Yeah.
Not all women. I'm not saying all women out there. I'm
Yeah.
just saying in general. Like, sometimes,
yeah,
yeah, they throw it in there. Like what? Like, I'm the breadwinner, when it shouldn't be like that.
yeah.
It shouldn't be like that. Because, like, for example, would a woman let a man lead them if they don't make more money than them? That's the conversation we gotta have.
Yeah, and when if we talk in Bible, God says submit.
Submit.
He didn't put an income
Can't put no
requirement.
asterisk like, oh, he got to make
No.
more than you. Yeah,
Yeah,
but and then submission can come in a lot of forms. It doesn't mean bowing down to me
at all.
It doesn't mean that you got to cook and clean. It's all about your circumstances, because when it comes to, you know, a situation, like, I'm not expecting my wife to always cook and clean if she's working all day. If I'm home before her, like, for example, I'm an entrepreneur, so I set my own schedule. You know, my wife may be in the office, say she works a regular job. If I'm home first, I'll make sure the kids is fed and in bed. It's all about compromise. It's all about that situation.
Right.
But a lot of I know for a fact there's a lot of women out there who demean men who aren't at a certain level yet, or if they make more money than them, they throw it in their face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when women want us to be vulnerable, but then when we're vulnerable, they use it against us. Oh, you soft. Like, yeah. But oh man, I was about to start going off.
Go off, man of God. That's what that is what we're here for. That is honestly the conversations that need to have. I mention this often. My boo, Dr. Lex Sex Doc on Instagram, she asks all the time, "Are you the lover that the lover of your dreams will want or need?" And that is not the conversation that we have often. We always we talk in partner selection, right? And we always look at it as in what I want, what I need, what I desire, but we don't often look internally and consider what that would require of me. Because a successful man is a busy man. One who makes a lot of money has a lot of responsibilities. And that may mean he may not be home all the time. And so if you desire, because I know women who desire, you know, this push of this soft life, which is, you know, I desire soft life. So I'm tired of being big homie. I'm tired of being the big dog. Okay. I really want to go lay down. But I don't desire to not work. That's never been a desire of mine. But there are some folks who do, right? Which is no problem whatsoever. But that means there is a expectation to maintain the household and all of that. If your partner, regardless of whether it's the man at home or the woman at home, to go and make the money that make the lifestyle that you live possible. Right. That doesn't mean you're a slave and not in need of help and all of that. And that doesn't mean if you're at a certain level, because I fully intend on taking care of my household and never lifting a finger. There's a person for that. I fully intend on having an income in which I don't have to wash another window for as long as I live. Right. Okay. But I will make sure I'll delegate the task and I'll keep it up. But I think that we don't think about what that means. We don't think about what, and you know, may he rest in peace. That man.
I know what you about to say.
Okay, I'm not gonna say his name. May he rest in peace.
Okay.
Wherever he is, may he rest. But I think that he stirred up a lot of controversy and created this concept, this high value, and we've reduced that again to dollar amounts and six-figure earnings. And quiet as it's kept, six figures ain't no money. We're gonna keep it above.
Yeah, not today's day. Yeah.
Six figures is no money. And then six figures after taxes, you know what I'm saying? And so we have it's perpetuating what you said earlier. Like if we can't, like man, if we can't produce, then we're not good. We're not anything. And that conversation is still lingering, and it's continuing to put us at odds with one another. We talked about last week with Dr. Vince, the whole, the slap heard around the world. We not only do we confuse provision, we confuse protection. I don't need you to be slapping people for me. Now, if he put his hands on me, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But words like we're not doing that. But that's what we have reduced it to, because we don't want to be truthful about what life is like in these relationship and dating streets. And really what that means is people aren't really truthful about what they want and the representative that keeps them safe to who they are. Because if I tell you who I am, if I show you who I am in real life, you're not going to accept me.
Right.
And so I pretend. I live outside my means. I buy clothes that I can't afford and keep the tags on, and then dry clean them and take them back because I don't have.
Oh, that's so true. Like, listen, like so many men that I know personally that are like, trying to live this facade, flexing for the gram, because, like they said, they have that status symbol. If it look like you got it, you're going to get that attention. And I know there are some women that do that. Like, when it look like you got it, that's when they're going to start responding to the DM. That's when they're going to start giving you some attention when it looks like you got it. So a lot of men are tricking themselves and putting themselves in bad situations, flexing for what? That's not even for me. Like I had to look like, so I have this Instagram page I have now, right? Like I had a page before this, and I deactivated that one, but now that's my fitness page. So when I reactivated it, I looked at my algorithm, right? And I just was looking at the type of people I was following, the type of women I was following. And my bad, something popped up. So I was looking at the type of women I was following. I was just like now on this page that I have now, you won't see that. That's not a part of my algorithm because I purposely don't follow. I purposely don't like that type of stuff because that's not the type of woman I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But, and a lot of times we think that's what we want. And we think that, that's the type of woman we want, that woman we have to buy.
Yeah.
When in reality, some men may want that, the rappers and all that, but that's not the life I live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not the type of woman I want. I don't want a woman it's something that's for everybody, that's showing their body, their whole body, on social media. Not saying you can't be proud of your body, and I'm not saying I don't open that conversation. But
I mean, because I was about to say you show your body all over the Instagram, but I'm just like, but for fitness purposes.
You got to show the the before and after. I'm saying I'm not saying you can't show your body at all, but like every picture don't got to be a back shot.
What are you trying to gain? Like, what is the purpose of the post and all that kind of thing? Yeah,
exactly. Like you on the beach, you feeling good. You worked hard all year. Like even if no matter what size you are, I love all women. You know what I'm saying? So like whatever you feel that you sexy in your own right, you can show that off. But like not everything is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Something be for me. Can something be for me? Yeah, I use my imagination.
Right, okay. And listen, and everybody, and this is the beauty of this kind of conversation, because everybody can have different positions on that. But you said I don't want somebody that I have to buy. I would argue nobody wants anybody that they have to buy. The people who are buying it aren't fulfilled. They don't feel love. They live in constant fear that the moment that I don't have it anymore, all of this is going to go away. And so that is so heartbreaking to consider. Like in songs that like, it's not tricking if you got it. It's absolutely tricking even if you got it.
Because what's going to happen when you don't got it?
It's probably more so tricking because you have it. And if you don't got it, it's
now what?
I can't think of the word of what it is when you don't have it, because then that's not tricking. That's I don't know what that's self-sabotage. That's something else.
Yeah, because you set an expectation for a lifestyle you can't live. Yeah. Like on what's that movie? What's the movie? Was it Think Like a Man? When the guy was with the one that was dating Taraji. I forgot his name.
Yeah, Michael.
The guy, the light skin. Yeah, Michael Ealy. Yeah, like he was trying to. He had took the Lambo or whatever. And he was trying to live that for, and then she ended up catching him. So at the end of the day, you're gonna get caught anyway. Just come as you are.
Yeah.
Come as you are. If somebody's gonna love it, somebody might not. But where I'm at right now, like that's not even the type of woman I'm looking for. Like a real man, is not gonna, like, you don't want that.
Yeah.
You know, like, at the end of the day, I'm not buying you. But the thing is, when it's a woman that's taking care of everything and it's the woman of my dreams, you're gonna want to spoil her.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. That's what
Like,
me
I
said.
think
She said some people's love language is gift giving. But
that's
gift,
true, but that
yeah,
shouldn't be the. I shouldn't have to gift. I shouldn't have to. What they say? Oh yeah, you. I've seen women like repost. Oh yeah, you only could talk to me if you send me a Cash App or something.
yeah.
Like, that's my love language is Cash App. Like, yeah, it's a lot of truth in jokes. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? And there's
talk
nothing
about
wrong
it.
with there's nothing wrong with gifts at all. Like the thing is, I love, like, I'm a giver. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to that, like, my partner, she gonna be, spoiled within means. I'm not gonna, like, sabotage my lifestyle and go broke just to
You won't
please you
get
or
me
get you a
to
certain
prove.
bag that
Yeah,
you're gonna wear, a couple times out the year. You know what I'm saying? And I'm true with me. I'm being real with myself. Like, I'm not a millionaire yet.
come
It's
on,
coming. It's
come on,
coming.
Lord.
But I have to be realistic with myself. I'm not putting myself in a bind and putting myself in debt just for a gift for you to post on social media and show
That
off like we live in this type of lifestyle. Now I
that
got to maintain this throughout the year,
that
and keep putting myself in the hole.
that right there is it. Like the motivation. My response to Mish is that yes, gift giving is people's love language. I am a gift giver. I love by doing for people, and my
Mm-hmm.
brain is wired that way. If I'm in somewhere on the store, on a website or something,
Mm-hmm.
I order before I think. Like, so I probably should, like, money management. I need to, financial literacy and all that, but not to the point where my lights is out so that I can give. But I'm doing it out of love and not because I'm like, if I don't give them this, they won't talk to me. The only reason, and I'm again walking in constant fear that if I don't give extravagance and gifts and these things, then I'm not going to be wanted here anymore. That's what separates, because then in that instance, that's not a love language. That's manipulation. People pleasing is still manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yep.
people pleasers are presented as the victim sometimes. But if you're a people pleaser, you are manipulating folks into being in your space, in your circle by
Mm-hmm.
doing. The more I do for you, the more irresistible I'll feel. I'll feel to you, and the more irreplaceable you'll see me, so that
Mm-hmm.
you'll always have me around. I'll always have a place in your life. Like, you're not choosing to be around me out of your own free will and fruition. You're always constantly considering all that I do for you, and you're considering what you will lose if you don't have me by way of stuff and things, not my presence.
Mm-hmm.
Only the presence. Come on,
Right.
somebody. That took off at the church.
Yep. I
Presence.
love that. Present. I like that. Yeah.
Hey, hey, I this has been, and this was been first of all, this has been the longest episode that we have had, and you've been talking good. You have the people in the contact the comments in the tizzy. This has been a great. No, I can't, Angelica. Don't be telling people I preach, because I don't. Don't be lying to the people, okay?
Yeah.
But anyway, this has been amazing. It was such an honor to connect with you, have this conversation with you. So 2 things that we're going to do. Obviously, we're going to pray out, because that's just, Jesus first, right?
Of
Thank you,
course.
Fran.
Yep.
But I want you to give, as we've done every episode, give your closing thoughts to Black women, but start with Dear Black Woman.
Okay. All right. Dear Black woman, first off, I just want to say thank you to all the strong Black women out there raising young kings and queens. Thank you for all your sacrifices. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your strength. As a Black man, we need you. We know that the world does not move without you. We know that we need you in order to build our legacies and to break many generational curses that we have to break. So we're just thankful for you. And we just want to say that you're beautiful just the way you are. Don't succumb to society making you think that you have to look a certain way or change the way that God made you, because he made you that way for a reason. If someone did not value that, or someone left you, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just their loss. So dear Black women, we love you, and just keep being great and keep on breaking barriers and just keep on doing amazing things that you're doing. Thank you.
So beautiful. Thank you so much. Are you willing, able
Mm-hmm.
to pray us out?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Always ready.
go
Yep.
on, man of God.
All right. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, first off, thank you for this conversation. Thank you for this platform. Thank you for allowing me to join Brittany tonight on her awesome platform and have this important conversation. Thank you for all that she's doing. And I just pray as you keep on expanding her territory on this platform. I know you have amazing things in the prophecy that her son had for her. You know, may that be done for her life, Lord. And I just thank you for another day. Thank you for all the beautiful Black women out there. And just thank you for all that you're doing, Lord. In the midst of all the madness in this world, we just pray for peace. Pray that you cover us as we go out, and for the rest of this week, cover us. And we just thank you and praise you, and ask that you forgive us when we fail you, and just pray that each and every day we glorify you in everything that we do and say. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And Lord, we pray that you remove any potential possible ever barrier to Sabri seeing or making access or connection to his son. It make every dollar, every plane ride, every travel accommodation be seamless so that he never feels, regardless of the distance, that he never feels like he has to break his back to see his child and be a father. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, everybody. This has been, I knew this was going to be amazing. God is every single person that I selected, God was like, call them, text them. Like, and I don't even really talk like that, but that's what happened this season. Even with, for those watching, just as a reminder, my Dear Black Woman Volume 4 of My Vulva and Me has been postponed. We was trying to get it out by Valentine's Day. That's not going to happen because I'm trying to get my dissertation done. And I feel like y'all want me to be a doctor sooner than y'all want me to have a 4th book. Like, honestly, I just feel like that's what y'all want for me in my life. So but it's going to come. We're just going to be a little bit longer. Someone said, Bree's an amazing person, one of the best people on the planet. I love this guy. Blessings sent to everyone. Definitely.
Blessings, bro. Love you, bro.
Definitely super dope, super amazing. We definitely got to stay connected and have some more of these conversations. This was awesome. And we will be closing out on Thursday. The season finale is this Thursday, 8:00 with Twine Steele, as we're talking about Till Death Do You Part, the foundations of a solid Black marriage, what that means, how do we go into eternity forever with our primary and first ministry, which is marriage. What does that look like, and how do we navigate when the world is against us? Well, Black love is revolutionary. How do we do this thing? I pray God continues to keep y'all and cover you till we see again. Sabri, millions and millions of dollars come your way, house after house after house, all the
right back to you.
That we want a fit professional, be a household name, all the things. Thank you so very much, and we will see y'all on Thursday. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks again for having me.
You're welcome. Right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye, y'all.